Since the nationwide lockdown was imposed, the government has decided to allow international and domestic flights to operate from mid-August. Despite the persistent threat of coronavirus spread, the government, as any other, has no option than to ease the lockdown measures to avoid an irreparable dent in the country's economy. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. At least 12 people dead due to floods and landslides triggered by incessant rainfall across the nation. More than 650 houses in Saptari inundated. Government fails to bring national pride projects to life. 55% of the total allocated budget yet to be spent. A vaccine created by Oxford University shows hopeful results. UK orders 100 million doses of the vaccine. And host England win the second test match against West Indies by 113 runs. Level the three-test series, one all third, and a final test match of the series to be played this Friday. At least 12 people have lost their lives in rain-induced incidents across the country due to incessant rainfall. 3 people in Dhading, 2 each in Tanahu and Darchula, and 1 each in Kathmandu, Gorkha, Teirathum and Morang districts have died. 3 members of the same family were buried in Golang of Dhading due to landslide. The deceased have been identified as Milan Khad, his wife and his daughter. Meanwhile, the girl who had been missing since yesterday has been found dead. Likewise, Anjana Limbu from Myanglung, Teirathum died after being swept away by a river in Solma. Manumati Thagunna and her daughter Arati Thagunna were killed yesterday in the landslide in Parigaon of Darchula district. Meanwhile, 4 people sustained injuries in the incident before they were rescued by the locals. The landslide has destroyed a school building and 4 houses in the area. Likewise, 34-year-old Lakshmi Gurung of Fujail in Gorkha district died in a landslide. In Tanahu, 2 people died in Bhanu Purkot, while 1 person is still missing. Meanwhile, 55-year-old Ajit Bahadur Magar died after being swept away by the Dali River in Kirabari Rural Municipality of Morang district. He was swept away while crossing the river and his body was later recovered. Likewise, Chief District Officer of Kathmandu district informed that a person died in a landslide in Tokha municipality. In Saptari, more than 650 houses were inundated, risking the lives of more than 6,000 people as the water levels in Khado and Jita rivers in the district rose. 400 houses of 3 wards in Rajbiraj municipality are underwater, crippling the life of the locals in the area. Around 100 houses in Hanuman Nagar Kankalini municipality and 50 houses in Tilati Koladi rural municipality have been inundated due to the floods in the Saptakoshi river. Likewise, the incessant rainfall since Sunday evening has inundated the city area in Janakpur Dham. Most of the city area has been flooded due to the lack of proper water outlet. Ramananda Chowk, Baikuntha Nagar, the Musahar settlement area and Devi Chowk, among other places, have been underwater. Normal life has crippled due to the floods in the city. At least 8 houses were swept away in Dhading district yesterday. Landslides triggered by incessant rainfall have obstructed the Prithvi highway at several places in Dhading and Chitwan districts. Vehicular traffic on the highway came to a complete halt after the flood in Moa River at the Dhading-Chitwan border swept away a bridge. Likewise, 4 vehicles were swept away while 3 vehicles were buried in the landslides. Meanwhile, 6 houses were completely destroyed and a 17-year-old girl has gone missing in the landslide. A team of rescue workers has been deployed at the incident sites to remove the debris. However, the continuous rainfall has interrupted work and is likely to cause delay in resuming vehicular traffic. A landslide has blocked the road at 4 kilo of the Narangad-Mugling road section and efforts are underway to clear the debris. Meanwhile, the main highway connecting the hilly districts of eastern Nepal has been obstructed due to the landslide and floods triggered by the monsoon rain. Several road sections on the Koshi highway have been blocked due to the incessant rainfall. Many villagers in the area are at high risk of landslides and floodings. The local administration in Dhankuta district has prohibited the operation of transport vehicles on the Bhedetar-Raviranke road section of the Koshi highway. Meanwhile, the district administration office, Palpa, has urged the public not to travel during the night on the Palpa-Butwal road section of the Siddhartha highway amid high risk of rain-induced disasters. The district office has urged the public to avoid traveling on the road section from Bartung to Butwal except in emergency cases from 8 at night till 6 in the morning. Chief District Officer Ramesh Neupane informed that the district office has advised not to travel during the night until further notice due to the high risk of landslides. There is high risk of landslides at Gauri Pool, Kalimati, Charchare, Dobhan, Siddha Baba road sections under the Siddhartha highway. Meanwhile, the highway has been blocked due to landslide near Gauri Pool in Tansen municipality. The government has allocated 85 billion rupees for 22 projects, including large-scale and strategic projects, the previous fiscal year. However, these 22 projects, dubbed national pride projects, have failed to gain the desired momentum. The government has not been able to utilize 55% of the total allocated budget. Furthermore, the government has tampered the project with the project's progress report. We have more in this report.
The government had allocated 7.33 billion rupees for the much-touted Melamchi drinking water project in the last fiscal year. It has already been 22 years since the project first began, and the government intended to complete it at any cost when the budget was announced in the last fiscal year. However, the project could not see the desired progress. Out of the 7.33 billion rupees allocated budget, only 1.9 billion rupees was spent. The government had claimed that the project had completed 97% of the works. However, the government this year dropped the estimate to 95%. The story of other national pride projects is no different. The Kathmandu-Tarai fast track that began 3 years back has only completed 8% of the works so far. The project was able to spend just 1.84 billion rupees out of 4.8 billion rupees allocated last fiscal year.
अब हाम्रो एउटा चाहिँ व्यवहार कार्य संस्कृति भन्नु पर्यो यो चाहिँ पहिलो चौमासिकमा हामी त्यति काम गर्दैन छौं र दोस्रो चौमासिकमा अलि काम गर्ने र खर्चको लोड चाहिँ तेस्रोमा पर्ने जहिले पनि त्यही पर्ने अब अहिलेको वर्ष पनि यहाँहरुले त्यही कुराहरु देख्नुभयो र अहिलेको वर्षमा कोभिडको कारणबाट पनि त्यो भएको छ.
The Nepal government reduced the total budget for the National Pride projects by 23.77 billion rupees through a semi-annual financial review. However, even after the adjustment, only 63% of the budget was spent. The coronavirus pandemic and the nationwide lockdown were other excuses for the government to cover up its failure.
यो हुनुको मूलभूत कारण चाहिँ के हो भने आयोजना व्यवस्थापन सही तरिकाले हुन सकेन र आयोजना व्यवस्थापन सही तरिकाले किन हुन सकेन भने आयोजनाको नेतृत्व लिने व्यक्तिको चयन गर्ने बेलामा गलत व्यक्तिलाई चयन गरियो सही व्यक्तिलाई दिएन सही व्यक्ति काम गर्न सक्ने व्यक्तिलाई दिएको भए सम्भवतः ती आयोजनाहरुमा राम्रो प्रगति हुन्थ्यो. हो विश्वमा 1.5 वर्ष भूकम्पको कारणले नाकाबन्दीको कारणले कतिपय आयोजनाहरुमा अलिकति काम सुस्त भएको चाहिँ हो तर त्यो मात्रै कारण चाहिँ होइन. खास गरी मध्यपहाडी लोकमार्ग हुलाकी राजमार्ग सम्पन्न गर्नको निमित्त त्यो बाहेक अरु थुप्रै कारणहरु छन् र त्यो कारणहरु मध्येमा चाहिँ मूलभूत रूपमा आयोजनाको नेतृत्व जसलाई दिएको छ त्यो नेतृत्व पाएको व्यक्तिले सही तरिकाले इमानदारीपूर्वक काम नगरेकै कारणले हो.
While the government has continued to face criticisms and questions on the progress of these much-touted national pride projects, it is uncertain when they would complete, if at all they would.
The Health Ministry has urged all members of the public to remain alert amid the ongoing rainy season, saying that the chances of coronavirus spread is heightened during monsoon flood and landslides. The ministry has said many individuals in rural areas are compelled to adjust in temporary shelters due to the flood and landslide incidents in recent days and has urged all to adopt maximum precautions to avoid the spread. The government has also urged the public to abide by precautionary measures and support the government's efforts in organizing relief programs. Meanwhile, according to the ministry, The number of coronavirus cases has risen to 17,868 as 186 new cases were reported yesterday. Out of the 4,216 coronavirus tests carried out through the PCR method yesterday, Bara recorded 46 new cases, Doti 40, Sarlahi 23, Saptari 9, Kaski 8 and Rukum East 7. Likewise, the ministry has informed that 173 individuals have returned home after full recovery. So far, Bhojpur, Panchthar, Sankhwa Sava, Thankuta, Rasua, Manang and Mustang have been declared coronavirus-free districts. And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. Welcome back. The government has decided to resume both domestic and international flights from 17th of August. The cabinet meeting held yesterday evening at the Prime Minister's official residence at Balwada decided to resume flight services by adopting precautionary measures. International flights have been suspended from 22nd of March, while domestic flights have been suspended from 24th of March. Speaking with Kantipur News, Tourism Minister Yogesh Patrai informed that the government took the decision as the number of the cases in the country has been declining. Several chartered flights were in operation to rescue stranded Nepali citizens in foreign lands. The government was facing pressure to resume normal flights as passengers have been compelled to pay hefty amounts for chartered flights. However, the government has given continuation to other provisions of the lockdown. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked locals in Biratnagar why have development projects failed to gain their desired momentum. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
समन्वयको कमी छ जहाँसम्म स्थानीय लेभलको कुरा छ विकास भइरहेको छ
बाटाघाटा अब बनाए भोलि भत्केर जान्छ लएर हेर्ने कोही पनि छैनन् खाने मात्र छन् लुटारा पार्टीगत कित्तागत चाहिँ डिभाइड गरेर खिचातान र बाँडिएको अवस्थाले गर्दा जहाँ हुनुपर्ने विकास हो त्यो एउटा नभएको अवस्था छ
खै त विकास निर्माण कहाँ के भइरहेछ त यहाँ त के देखिन्छ भनेदेखि उही सबैले गोजीमा पैसा हाल्ने काम मात्रै गरिरहेछन्
जहाँबाट जति बजेटहरू आउँछ खालि भुँडी भर्ने कामहरू मात्रै भएको देखिन्छ त्यही भएर विकास हुन नसकेको तीन तहको सरकार उनीहरू आफैहरू मिलेका छैनन् अनि त्यसले गर्दा पनि हो आफ्नो कमाउनेपट्टि लागेको छन्
समय भइन्जेलसम्म विकास निर्माणमा ध्यान नदिने टेन्डरहरू निकाल्नु पर्ने उपभोक्ता समितिहरू बनाउनु पर्ने त्यो समयमा नगर्ने
महामारी यति फैलिँदा पनि आफै नै कमाउनेतर्फ लागेको कारणले गर्दा विकास नभएको
तिनै तबकामा भ्रष्टाचार छ माथि पनि भ्रष्टाचार बीचमा पनि भ्रष्टाचार अझ तल पनि भ्रष्टाचार कसरी हुन्छ विकास निर्माण
स्वार्थी समूहको झुन्ड धेरै छ त्यसले कसले गर्ने कति कमिसन पाउने भन्ने कुराहरुमै यो अन्योलता देखिन्छ र तीन तहकै सरकारमा समन्वयको पनि अभाव जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई
उनीहरु दृढ इच्छा शक्ति नै छैन जनतालाई कसरी विकसित गर्ने जनतालाई कसरी अब शिक्षित बनाउने हैन कसरी स्वस्थ राम्रो बनाउने भन्नेतिर उहाँहरुको ध्यान छैन उहाँहरुको ध्यान के छ भने सत्ता कसरी टिकाउने सत्तामा कसरी बस्ने
भ्रष्टाचार मौलाएको छ हैन यो भ्रष्टाचारलाई कहाँ के भइराखेको छ भन्ने त्यो नियन्त्रण गर्ने संयन्त्र छ नि हो त्यसको चाहिँ मलाई कमी हो जस्तो लाग्छ
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: why has the government failed to spend budget allocated for national pride projects? The options are option A, incapable project leadership, option B, negligent contractors, and option C, effect of lockdown. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your options A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.